Okay, there it is. So there it is, Suron user manual for the Light B. There it is. That's what it looks like. We're just gonna go over the specs. High performance electric off-road bike. Yeah. Well, this is a electric dual sport now. Okay, so these are technical specifications. You know what? I'm gonna go. We'll go Google the bike, and then we will go. I'll go over this. It's so a lot of the specs are in metric, so I don't really know. I don't really care for the stuff, you know. But I will put a translation in the subtitle. So the overall dimensions are 885, 780, and 1050 millimeters. The wheelbase is 1265 millimeters. The vehicle weight is 42 kilograms and 50 kilograms without the battery. It's 42 kilograms and it's 50 kilograms with the battery. So, and just in case you're wondering, it has a modular battery. You can take the battery out of this. It's not stuck on the bike like the Impulse. The rated load is 100 kilograms. Okay, so I will put I'll put a subtitle below for all those specs in American terms, in English terms, or SAE. The minimum clearance is 270 millimeters. I guess that's the height. The seat height is 810 millimeters. The front rake is 26 degrees. I think, yeah, it's a lot like a dirt bike. If you kind of look at the KLX right there, behind it, the rake looks very similar to that of a dirt bike. So it's a dirt bike. It's not like a trials bike. I think a trials bike has less rake. Yeah, I think a trials bike has less rake. Maximum climbing 70% slope. That's a very steep slope. 70%. Yeah, this thing can climb. Apparently, we'll find out when I take it to the off-road park. Maximum speed 20 kilometers an hour. 20 kilometers an hour? Seriously? That's not fast at all, dude. That's actually really slow. I guarantee you, dude, it goes faster than for 20 kilometers an hour. The power system is a high-speed DC brushless motor. That's this guy here. Look at that. What a beautiful looking motor too. It's rated at 168 watts. Maximum output power 168 watts. So now we're gonna have to look at the specs for the controller, because this has the X controller. It's a sine wave controller, and this is the upgraded one. This is the one from the X bike, the newer bike. So this bike has more power than a regular Light B. So the battery specification is a high rate ternary these weird terms. High rate ternary lithium. It's a lithium ion battery, is what it is. Oh yeah, we skipped power. So rated power is 168 watts. Maximum output power 168 watts. Okay, so it's maxed out. And the maximum torque of the driving wheel is 120 Newton meters. So I'll try to put that in horsepower terms for you on the subtitle below. Endurance mileage per charge. Oh, that's an interesting spec. 70 to 100 kilometers depending on the battery. So that makes me think that they have different batteries for this bike. So there's the battery right there. That kind of tall thing there. The charging time is 3 to 6 hours depending on charger. So I think it's 6 hours. Because I have it came with a 10 amp charger and like 30. If you do the math, 30 divided by 6 is like, yeah, it's about 6. It's about 5 or 6 hours to charge. The charger input voltage is 110 volts or 230 volts. Okay, so I guess you can. It's got a little dual voltage dealy. Battery over current protection is 100 amps. The power mode they have two power modes. There's economic mode and sport mode. That's probably that switch, you know. But the bodywork type is all aluminum alloy forged frame. There it is. Okay. Gear type is aluminum alloy 19 by 1.4. The tire type is an off-road type. It's 70-119. So the weird thing is, these have the same size tires for the front and the back, I noticed. So here we're running, this dude put some Shinko tires on it. These are actually, Shinko tires are actually really good. It's actually what I'm running. It's actually what I'm running on this bike right here, Shinko. It's a good tire. And we got a 2.75 by 19 tire, and it's the same front and back. So it's the same. You can interchange them. That's the good thing is you only have to carry one kind of tube with you. Well, this is a trials tire too. Yeah, it looks like a trials tire. So I think it would make a good Dualsport tire. Yeah. So the tire. But anyway, it's 70-119 is if you're going to put in like a street bike tire terms, but this one is running a 275 inch by 19. If you're going to talk in like dirt bike terms, you know, usually most dirt bike tires are like that. So not this one. This one is 70-100. Oh, this is the same size tire. Yeah, these run the same size front wheels. It's funny. What else? Has a double shoulder front fork with travel. So this has the RST forks. The RST, yeah, these have the RST forks. But they're painted black. It's supposed to be white, but the previous owner painted them black. He was going for that Mad Max look, black gold look, right? And it has a multi-link hydraulic spring central type for the rear. So that's this guy. And the rear is a fast ace. Yeah, fast ace. It has compression and rebound and preload adjustment right here. It's a very good shock. It's really good, and it has a 450 pound-inch spring on it, and it looks like it's all the way at the top. So I'm not sure if it is the preload is set properly. So we might go take this. I might take this to Evolution Motorcycles and have them tune the suspension for me, for my person. It seems like, yeah, this doesn't seem like it's a little soft when I ride it. I only taken it for a little spin. Okay, travel 85 millimeters, front brake 203 millimeter hydraulic disc, rear brake 200. So the front and the rear brakes are the same size. And there might be even interchangeable. I'm not sure. The primary drive is a HTD 8M belt with 560 millimeters. So the drive system on this bike is a little weird. It's not like a traditional motorcycle where you got your transmission is, you know, it's with the engine. Like this part here is your transmission on the internal combustion motor, and then you have an output shaft right here with a counter sprocket on it, and it just goes. So this guy is a little bit different. Let's go wheel this out. Okay, this guy's a little bit different. So there is a belt. Yeah, I think this is the belt right here. There's a belt right here. There's a belt that goes from here, the motor, to here, and then there's a shaft that goes to the chain right there. So it's kind of like I got like a gear reduction system or like a drive belt. So it's a little more complicated, but yeah. So basically, there's a belt that goes from here, from your motor output shaft, to a pulley right here, and then this pulley is mounted to like a drive shaft here. And then it goes to a counter sprocket right here, and then you got your chain drive here, and then your rear sprocket wheel. Yeah, so that's the primary drive, and then the secondary is a 420 chain with 106 links. The lamps are all LED lamps. I don't know what lamps they're talking about. I don't think this came with any of them. The meter type is a negative display liquid crystal meter. That's this guy. We'll take a look at it later. Product certification is European certification. It's okay. It's certified for Europe. Okay, so yeah. So those are all the specs. Sorry if that was took too long. This might be like a 2-part series or something. But yeah. So there it is. That's the bike. Okay, so let's take a quick look at this bike. So just to recap, this is a Suron Light B. also, I think Lunicycles just calls it an MX bike or something. And it's a little bit different than a stock Light B. We'll go over those stuff in a bit. And yeah, so I bought it used. I bought it used for $3,850. I think it's a great deal. The Light B costs, I think the Light B costs like $4,000 when it first came out, and then they came out with the X bike, and then that one cost like $4,500. Basically, what you're paying for is a controller. This controller is $500. This bad boy here. It has a sine wave controller. It's supposed to be a lot better than the regular controller. It's very much like an e-bike. That's what it is. But it's a very nice e-bike. It's a cross between like I mentioned, this is a cross between like a full-on motorcycle and a bicycle, basically, an e-bike. So it's about the same size as a KLX. We'll take the KLX off, and I'll do a separate comparison video between the two bikes. But these bikes are pretty much the same size. We confirmed that the front wheels are the same size on this, so I can probably lace a KLX wheel onto this, you know. Look at the hubs on the KLX though. The hubs are much beefier on the KLX. Yeah, those are like bicycle hubs. Okay, but yeah, yeah. So I paid $38.50 for it. I think that's a good deal because right now, as of this video, the Suron X bike is going for $41.50, and you have to get it shipped, and the shipping is like almost like $200. So, like I said, I wanted to buy one of these, but I didn't have the money earlier, and then I was planning to save some money. I was going to go drive down to LA and pick it up. Lunicycles is in LA, or near LA, and you can go there and pick it up and save some money if you wanted to. But yeah, then there's like, that's gas money, right? And it comes in a box. And unfortunately, since I bought it used, I mean, the good thing is it's already assembled for me. I don't have to do anything. The guy's been riding it, you know. It has like 600 miles on it already, so it's like it's already been broken in, pretty much. Like, we know nothing bad is gonna happen to it because he's had it for a little bit. Yeah. So yeah. But yeah, if you were to buy this from Lunicycle, if you were to buy a Light B, it would be around $3,500, I think, ish. If you were to buy the X bike, it would be $41.50. I would get the X bike because it's got the super rad X controller here. But yeah, so I got this for $38.50. I saved myself on the shipping and assembly, and like, yeah, I had to kind of, the guy did some goofy things with the bike that I might change. I don't know. We'll see. He left it all black. He painted the forks black. And he put like a folding handlebar. I'll show you how that works. Yeah, and I rode it earlier, and it's no joke, dude. It's fast, dude. It's not like, oh damn, it's super fast, but like, yeah, you know, my perception of speed is kind of messed up because I ride this bike right here, man. That bike is fast compared to this bike, but yeah, I mean, for this little guy, oh my god, it's so fast. But yeah, so I think this is the steel gray color. Yeah, so it's the one everyone wants to buy because it keeps on getting sold out, the steel gray color. I don't know why. Everyone likes a black bike, you know. I have to say, the dude made the bike all black, dude. The only thing that looks different is the plate. The plate is white. That's about it. It looks very Mad Max bike. I used to have a DR650 that was all black, and this reminds me of it a lot. Even got black wheels, you know. Yeah, so there it is. I mean, this is a new thing, man. There's no other bike out there like this. Maybe there's that cake bike, I guess. There's other bikes that are coming out that are like this, but it's a new thing in the world. It's like a hybrid e-bike / motorcycle. That's what it is. So yeah. So I paid $38.50 for this. And he did a couple things to it, so I'll show you. We'll go over that, right? Okay, so some modifications that he did. So this Light B has more than a handful of modifications done to it. It's got the X controller from the X bike. It's a sine wave controller. It supposedly has more power, like 6,000 watts. The manual said like 6,000. I think, yeah, I think something it said like 6,000 watts, and it's supposed to be quieter, and it's supposed to have regenerative braking. So you can probably get more range off of it. And it's got more range, more power. They say it's quieter too. I don't know. Oh, we have the stock controller. We can put it back on. This has the RST forks. You can see it's a conventional fork. Unlike see, this is an upside down fork here from a KX. This has a right side up fork. The way it's supposed to be, right? So like the fork tubes go that way instead of going that way. Like and they say this is a better fork because it has a fork brace on it already. It's stiffer. This has a fender on it too, as you can see, and it's just been zip tied on there, so it looks really ghetto. Well, I mean, I guess it works, but I don't know, man. We'll see. It looks a little ghetto. We'll find a better way to put that on there. Maybe we can just bolt some tabs on, drill some holes in here and bolt some tabs. What is this? Oh, that's metal, all right. Yeah. It's got a compression adjustment here, and I think it's got a rebound. Yeah, it's got a rebound right here. It's got full adjustment front and back. This is very good suspension on this bike. The rear suspension is a fast ace shock, like I mentioned. It's fully adjustable, compression and rebound, and preload right here. This one has like a little rear fender here too. I don't know if this comes stock, and it has a little kind of like a little tail here. It's very nice looking bike. It looks like a trials bike is what it looks like. Also, these foot pegs are not stock. These are some folding foot pegs. I mean, he was saying like he was the way he had it. He used it to store the bike. It's easier to store the bike with these foot pegs, like because they fold up. But I would want folding foot pegs, right? So all like dirt bikes are supposed to have them, right? So it's got a mirror here, a bar end mirror. Yeah, it is a bar end mirror. I may put some Dualsport mirrors on it. I don't know if we're gonna keep this as a moped as a Dualsport. I just, like I said, when I bought this bike, I wanted it to be a dirt bike. It was gonna be a dirt bike, or supermoto also. So also it has this kind of switch dealie here with the signals and stuff. That's not stock. This, for some reason, this is zip tied on. I'll have to find a way to get that on there without the zip tie. It looks kind of corny. And this has folding handlebar. So watch this. These are Pro Mend handlebars, and they're pretty trick. Check it out. So, and I think it uses, these are like bicycle handlebars. It looks like a drag bar is what it is. When you sit on this bike, it feels like a sport bike. I'm not gonna lie. It's like it's a forward riding position, and the foot pegs are pretty. I was surprised. I thought it was gonna be more like a dirt bike, but it's not. But I suppose you could just rotate this up, you know. Yeah, but these are designed to be more forward, so I'm not really sure if we're gonna keep these on here. But these are Pro Mend folding handlebars. There's a little. Okay, there's a lock right here. You gotta press that down, pull this up. Okay, and then that unlocks this. There's a little locking lug here, and then you just rotate that up, and then pull that down, and kablamo! Look at that, right? And then those go down, and then the bike becomes super narrow. That's how we loaded it in the van too, with it folded like that. So it I wanted to put tall bars on this bike, and I think if I put tall bars on this bike, we won't be able to fit it in the van anymore. So, because my dirt bike doesn't fit in the van, unfortunately. But that's one of the benefits of this over this is that there's no oil, there's no oil, and there's no coolant, there's no gasoline to spill in your van when you put it inside there. So I have no problem laying this thing sideways down in my van. So I think what we're gonna have to do, I think, is if I do want to put taller bars, we're going to have to just lean it sideways when we get in the van and just lay it down on its side or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But these are pretty sweet. They're pretty trick handlebars. I kind of like them. It's a very it's like a kind of like a Clubman bar almost. It's pretty cool. Okay, so I'll go lock this up. I'll show you how to lock it up. These are the ProMand folding handlebars. Okay, gotta get that over the locking lug. Snap that in place, and that should be good. And then, so it's kind of like a double locking mechanism. I don't know how strong it is. I don't know if it'll bend or anything. Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. But the bike isn't that heavy. If you dropped it, I don't think it would bend the bars. Too bad. Oh, okay. So he put a 60 tooth rear sprocket. I think the rear is like a 40 something tooth. I have the stock sprocket. We can take a look at it too. And this has a non O-ring chain. Supposedly the X bike has the O-ring chain, but I don't want an O-ring chain. It eats up power. As long as you lube this thing, it'll last a while. Take good care of it. So yeah, and then it's got the license plate and the lights. So, all right, let's go fire it up and yeah, let's go fire it up. So here's you got a key, 2 keys, has a little Suron logo on it. I'm telling you, man, this is a legit bike, man. It's very, very good craftsmanship on this bike. So here you got an ignition here. What's this guy here? That's a USB port for charging stuff. So if you wanted to have one thing I'm going to put on this bike is a RAM mount, so we can put like stuff on it. There you got your battery right here. Press this button here, and it tells you how much charge you got. It's got 94% right now. Pretty cool. You can remove the battery. I'll do a separate video on that, I guess. Basically, you turn it counterclockwise, and then the lid goes up, and then there's the battery. And there's a little strap to lift it out. You got to unhook this and this, I think, and then there's a breaker switch right here that you need to flip. Yeah, and then you can lift the battery up. I'll shoot a separate video on that later. Put that back on. Yeah, and then the key in the ignition on. I don't think there's a lock on the steering wheel. There it is, and it's on. Look at the lights; they're super bright. It is crazy, dude. Even the Leo speed port lights up. Cool. And it has a battery indicator right here. See, it's kind of weird. You gotta look down to take a look at it, but that's okay. This is your gauge cluster. It has 2 modes. It has your speed and odometer, and then you press this button here, and it tells you your max speed. So I hit 49 miles per hour. I'm telling you, dude, this thing was freaking hauls ass. I will put a GPS on this, and we'll see what it really does. I don't know if that's accurate or not. I'm not really sure where it gets the speeds from. Yeah, I don't know where the sensor is for that. We'll kind of look at that later. And there's a trip meter. Kind of would want it to be the opposite, right? You would want the speed and trip to be on one, and then you would want the odometer and your max speed on the other one. Because it's like the odometer, you don't look at the odometer much. I would look at the trip speed more often. But whatever. It's a pretty nice display. We'll see how it is in the daytime. And then, and it does have a side stand switch, so if I do give it throttle right now, it won't go anywhere. See, you gotta get the side stand up right there. It does remind me. It reminds me of a really beefy bicycle stand, bicycle side stand. And there it is. There's the running lights right there. He's got a strip of LEDs right here, and then a running light here. It's got a brake light. When I squeeze this guy, it gets brighter. It's legit, man. I'm telling you. And there's a headlight right there, and then there's a signal light. Blinks a little fast. It's okay. Oh, okay. It's got a light right here. I don't know how legal that is, man. It's questionable that it's legal to have lights, but they look cool. I don't know if you could see that back one. I would want to maybe just put some real lights on it. I'm not sure, man. But yeah, I'm not really liking the rear lights too much. And it has a horn. There it is. So that's the full functions of this bike. And like I said, it's got a right hand front brake and a left hand rear brake right here. And I don't know if they're hydraulic. I don't think. It's a good question. Are they hydraulic? I think they might be. I'm not sure. It's a good question. Oh yeah, so it has the fender here. So there it is. Those are the those are the odds and ends of this bike. So this one has the 62 sprocket, so it has more torque. But you can see it already hit 50 miles an hour. It hit 50 miles an hour with the torquier sprocket. So I'm wondering how fast this can go if you put the high speed sprocket on it. I'm like, holy crap, dude. Yeah, it's no joke, dude. This thing is fast. It's about as fast as that. The KLX 140 can go 50, 55 max, but you're just like, it's out of breath at like 50 miles an hour, man. This just goes, it just goes whoop, it just goes up there. All right, so yeah, so that's a quick video of let's go over the stuff that it came with.